just want you to, is everything okay?
I'm making another video. Captain Buffalo Soldier here. Um, this is Dave.
Yeah, with security.
This is Dave. He's security here at the church.
James, just, it'll be recorded. You can just talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay? You can just talk to me.
So what is it? What is it?
Well, they were saying that you're kind of being antagonistic and stuff like that. So
No.
we just need to make sure everything's okay.
Uh,
Okay? And I don't want any issues here or anything like that. Okay? So just want to make sure there's no issues or anything. All right? Just have to respect everybody. They'll respect you, and you respect them, and we'll all be good. Okay?
so
Are we on the same page?
somebody saying that they were disrespected.
Yes.
Who is it?
The whole table over there. Okay.
I'm saying they're liars.
Okay. So obviously there is an issue between you and them. Okay.
Yeah.
You just have to respect people while you're here at church. Okay. They're going to respect you, and you have to respect them.
I'm
As
saying
long
that
as there's
I was humiliated by
James.
one of the guys over there, and I
James.
confronted him on that. Rather than to allow them to humiliate me, I said
Let me
I
speak.
confronted
Let
him
me speak.
on that.
Okay. Because I was up there when you talked to Pastor Dan last night, and you made this same accusation about someone at CityLink. So if you're making
That's not true.
no, last night you said you talked to CityLink and they wouldn't listen to what you said and they wouldn't help you and they were ignoring you.
That's not true.
Isn't that what you told Pastor Dan last
No,
night?
that's not what I told
Okay,
him.
what did you
That's
tell
what you heard, but that's not what I said.
How is what you said and what I heard
what
different?
I said that is
How is what I said and what I heard, what you said and what I heard different?
because
Explain that to me, please.
those aren't my words. What you said.
But what did you tell Pastor Dan last night?
I'll tell you what I told
Okay.
him. I told him that when I went to CityLink, they told me that they don't do that I couldn't use their address for my commercial driver's license. That's what I told him. They don't do that.
But you said they were. Didn't you say something about they didn't honor you or they were disrespectful to you or something like that? Didn't you say something like that?
Well, he said that they were nice people over there, blah blah blah,
you said
I
they
said
weren't.
I said they weren't.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting at. So you're telling me that they're not nice over there. Now, these people aren't nice over here. Do you see where there's a common ground here? Maybe it's your
Yes.
approach to people. Okay, so all I'm asking you to do is just be respectful, and they'll be respectful back. That whether it be here, whether it be elsewhere, if everyone's respectful, there are no issues. Did you need help with something over there?
So security is called because I'm disrespectful.
Do you need help with anything over there, or is your business concluded
My
over there?
business is concluded.
Okay.
When I walked away, my business was concluded.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Is there anything else you need? Anything you need right now here at the church?
Why are you asking me that?
Because church is over with. It's closing. It's ending.
If it's ending, then I'll leave with the rest of it.
Okay. But if you needed something, I was going to ask you. We can help you with what you needed. But if you don't need anything, then church is over.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what happened then. So when this guy, the black man there, when he was coming out, I was coming out of the uh, the coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
and he was coming out with 4 hats, and he was wearing the same hat that he came out of the shop with. And I said, "Oh, how much did you pay for the hats? Consider, oh, it must have been a sale. He's got so many." And he said, $25 a piece. And he said, "Do you want one?" And I said, "No. Instead of getting me a hat, you can get me a sandwich." Okay. I noticed they were selling food over there, and he says, "Oh, you can go over there and get it." And I said, "Well, I don't have money for that." He was like, "Well, I'm not going to get you a sandwich or whatever." I said, "Well, you offered me a hat." He's like, "Oh, I'm selling the
That's
hats."
what he meant. He's selling because he's selling
Yeah,
it for that ministry.
but listen, that's not what he said to me when I first asked him. He said
James,
$25 a
James,
piece.
you're being very literal. You're being
Yes.
very literal.
I mean, words, that's conversation.
Okay, please listen to me for a second, okay?
I did listen. I'm
You-
saying I
what
listened
I'm,
to them
what I'm,
too
try- what
saying
I'm
the
trying to
same
explain to
thing.
them is you took it in a very literal context.
No,
He wasn't
no.
offering to give it
But
to you.
but you asked me, and I'm explaining to you. I'm not asking you to explain back to me the same thing they did.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
asking me, so I'm
Okay.
explaining myself.
Okay.
I'm
Explain.
not asking you to
Okay.
explain.
Do you understand?
Of course I understand.
Okay.
That's why I
All right.
walked away.
Okay. Then we're good.
No, you asked me, is there anything else that I could do?
Okay.
And I'm explaining yes.
Okay. So you've
So you
explained.
won't no, I haven't.
Then
You didn't.
explain. You
If,
just did.
if you would allow, no, I didn't finish.
Okay.
If you would allow me to, you
Then,
asked me to explain.
then finish explaining because I have things I have to
Okay,
do.
you asked
Okay.
me,
So
was there
finish
anything
explain.
else that
So
you could
finish
do?
explaining.
And I said, yes. The same thing I asked him. Can I have a sandwich?
Okay. How am I supposed to? Are you? How am I supposed to respond to that? Are you
I
done?
mean, you
You want me to?
asked. Yeah.
So you're done.
Yeah,
Okay. So your business here is concluded then, right?
yeah.
Okay. Church is closing then. Okay. So I just want to make sure there's no more issues.
No, you asked me, was there anything
James,
that you could
please.
do? And I said, yes, a
James,
sandwich.
quit manipulating the
And
words.
that means no.
Okay. So if
Is
you
that
have
what you're saying? No, I can't have a sandwich?
no, because that's they're selling the sandwiches
Yeah,
there. Okay.
yeah.
You can go and buy a sandwich
I
if
know
you want.
that, but I'm saying you could have ended the conversation too. But you asked me, is there anything else that I could do? And I said, yes, the same
All
thing
right,
I
James.
asked him.
I'm going to ask you to
Can I
leave.
have a
I'm going
sandwich?
to ask you to leave, James. All right, because you're crazy talk right now. Okay. I'm going to ask you to leave, please.
My
Okay.
talk is crazy.
No, because you manipulate the words and you go back and forth. You're changing words to mean different things. So I'm just going to ask you.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, James. I'm just going to ask you. For today, I need you to step out. You're welcome to come back next week for service, but for today, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Oh, so you're throwing me out?
I'm asking you to leave because church is over with, church is done, and we're closing when everybody leaves.
Yeah, and I've always left when everybody leaves.
Everybody's leaving now, Jake. I need you to leave, please.
I will leave.
Okay, well then thank you.
You're welcome. So you do the same thing as those guys did over there. You tell me a lie to get me
Jake, do you think
to
that there might
to
be? Do you think there might be an issue when everybody you talk to is lying to you or telling you the wrong thing?
yeah. There's a lot of liars in the
No,
world.
there's a way that you
That
interpret
you
it.
lie, you lie.
You might have to think that you might be the problem, not the problem. The person interpreting it wrong. You're interpreting what people are saying wrong. Because if everybody you contact, not everybody is
I
liars.
don't.
Not everybody
No,
says the
not
same thing.
everybody.
So it might just be the way that you interpret what they say.
I'm saying you could have concluded our business by simply saying you have to leave, rather than to say, is there anything else I
Okay,
could
but
do
I
for
went above
you?
and beyond. I let you speak your story,
Yeah.
and
So that's a
now
lie.
I'm
So you
asking,
didn't ask.
now
You
I'm
didn't
asking,
want to do anything for
James,
me.
now I'm asking you to leave, and now you're questioning that. So, but you're telling me now, if I would have said it from the beginning, you would have left and no
Yeah.
problem. Okay,
Yeah.
then what's the difference if you would have left then and no problem, and leave
Because
now
you
with no
tried.
problem? James,
You
just leave.
because you.
James, just leave.
I'm leaving.
Thank you. We'll see you next weekend. Okay.
So there you go. Lies and manipulation and whole lots of foolishness coming out of the church. Phone on the ground trying to put my water away. But yeah, so this is kind of common in the megachurch environment. Hostility beyond belief. So it's a very, very difficult social situation to navigate. Uh, Hostility and hatred for all those that disagree with the way they choose to communicate, which is one-sided kind of dictatorship, my way or the highway type of attitude and atmosphere. And I don't have the stomach for it. So, as you can see, the guy say, uh, it's all me that Everybody hates me because I'm too literal with my understanding of reality. The man tells me that he has a. That wasn't a sneeze, son. That was a extraction. So excuse me. If I would have known you was behind me, I wouldn't have did that. Yeah. So I want to say that I'm rude and I'm ignorant and uneducated and unruly because I understand these things to be literal communication. When I asked the man how much he paid for the hats, he said $25 a piece, which made me to believe it was he purchased the hats. So, uh, and then offered me one, and I said no, I don't want a hat, but if you want to do something for me, I'll have a sandwich. Now, if I would have went in there rubbing my stomach and crying and bent over and begging, somebody might have bought me a sandwich. You have to really grovel and beg these people to get them to do anything. Otherwise, they don't give a shit about another person's life. Uh, that's why I don't believe uh, that this is God doing these things in these churches. That these people operate completely independent of God. And so, as you can see, that the guys there, I made the video at the table, called security on me to have me thrown out of the church because they viewed me as a security risk, an unruly person. Want to disagree with them that I couldn't get a sandwich. You can't get a sandwich out of none of them suckers. They have no uh, sympathy or interest in trying to help me. They have a City Link ministry, which is a church property almost as big as that one. So almost as big as that one at another location, and that property does serve meals. Uh, how often I don't know, but this one particular day they were serving a meal that I wasn't interested in attending. Uh, the next day when I went there to ask about the address. Stray dog out here on the street. Gave him a hand signal to let him know I wasn't bullshit. Yeah, I paused in the street because it looked like these people were chasing this dog. Was running from them. But anyway, yeah. So I I still took the time to fill up my water jug, as these guys was attempting to throw me out of the church property, waiting for them to grab me and try to do something to me like the police do, shoot me or something. That's to the degree of how these people are. As I say that this man asked me something to what else he could do for me, meaning that that's a dismissal to say that they really don't care about doing anything for you. So that's not a question. That's more as a departing statement. That's why he say that I've taken these communications to be very literal. So when somebody say, "Is there anything else I could do for you?" That means that they're dismissing you to say, "Go away." So these people want to act like they're working the counter at Macy's to say, "Is there something else I can help you with, sir, ma'am? Need any help with anything?" And which is uh, deceptive, evil actually. That it has nothing to do with any type of values or anything. This is a business statement that's being made. Uh, can I help you with something? You know, and I thank God, for this communication. Otherwise, I would have never scratched the surface behind the mask that I was that I already knew what was there, so I didn't want to see. I would have rather allowed these people to keep their masks on and continue in their church vibe rather than to confront them. So any type of communication with church people is dangerous spiritually. So I I was violated there.